Hi, my name is Dallas Dupree Young, and you're watching The Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am so excited to be joined by Dallas Dupree Young. How's it going?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We just have so much to discuss, so I'm going to jump right in, talk about one of your inspirations, which is Denzel Washington, because your favorite Denzel films were released before you were born. So how did you first come across his work, and how has he inspired you as an artist?
Yeah, so I first came across Denzel Washington's work at the beginning of my career. My mom wanted me to research a few African American actors who I would really look up to. And I decided to look them up. And the first person that I saw was definitely Denzel Washington. And I looked through all of his work. And then there was one movie that really caught my eye, and that was John Q. So I decided to watch John Q. And that became my favorite movie, like to this day, honestly. And then he's just such an inspiration because he's really making a movement for us African American kids and just adults and everybody who wants to be in the business. And we know because of him, we can rise to the top and do anything we can if we just work hard and be prepared.
That's awesome, and such a tough act to follow, but I think you're making your way there. I was gonna say I love Philadelphia and Man on Fire. I know those weren't the two that you listed as your
Right.
favorites, but his whole body of work is just so impressive.
Mhm.
And speaking of inspiration, your family has been so supportive of you and your career. I know especially your mom. How have they helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, so both of my parents have helped so much in my career and shaping the man that I'm becoming, honestly. So my dad really helped me with my determined side, my hungry side, the person who wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and is the last one to leave the baseball field and just have that determination and have that energy to want to be better. And then my mom has really helped me because she's been here, she's in Los Angeles, and she's keeping me humble, keeping me grounded, and she's also just been there for me whenever I needed her. And then she's also there to talk. So without them, I don't know where I would be in my career. And they just influenced me to be a great young man and keep rising to the occasion.
I watched your Whistles Days Off feature where you and your mom were sitting there eating Thai food, talking about your childhood and your roles, and you can see that special bond there. And you've been active since you were a young age. I know you've been doing martial arts on and off since age 6. How has being on Cobra Kai helped both sharpen your knowledge of the sport and also the physical side?
Yeah, being on Cobra Kai has definitely helped my knowledge of the sport. I really learned a lot of basic training and the philosophy that goes behind karate and taekwondo as a whole. Honestly, from that, no, like thanks to Don Lee and Kim Bearfield, who are the stunt coordinators on the show, they've really just enlightened me and helped me with my knowledge of karate. And then also, it's helped me be a lot more flexible and active as well. And also my biggest goal was to try to get a 6 pack. And because of Cobra Kai, it's helping me get a 6 pack. So I much thanks to Cobra Kai and everything they've done for me. But my knowledge of the sport is definitely evolving and growing because of it.
You mentioned getting a 6 pack. Is that like the end of season goal? You're like, you can't let me leave until I get the 6 pack.
Yeah, so I got a little story for you. Whenever we were having the water park scene for Cobra Kai, I forgot which episode that was. So I remember Jacob Bertrand, or episode 4. It's perfect. Okay, Jacob Bertrand was shirtless, and Tanner was shirtless, if I'm not mistaken. And they said to John Hurwitz, who's the creator of the show, we're all together, we're talking, and Jacob, he's hilarious, by the way. He goes, "We need to get Dallas shirtless in season 6." Because I was wearing a shirt at that time. And then they were like, "All right, we'll make it happen." I said, "I'm going to get a 6 pack by season 6. Watch." And they're like, "Let's make it happen." So been working on that to try to fulfill that promise.
Yeah, I just love that whole water park scene, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But when we first meet Kenny in season 4, he is very much shaped by his complex family life. And in season 5, we learned that his father is still in the army overseas. Sean is still in juvie. I'm curious if you discuss with your writers about Kenny's relationship or lack of with his mother and kind of how she fits into his life post All Valley tournament and during the summer when the season takes place.
Yeah, so the creators and I definitely had a conversation about the layout of the season at the beginning. As soon as I booked the role, they pretty much just gave me a better understanding of who my character was, his family life, and the continuation into future seasons and all of that. But the relationship with my mom is definitely complex and interesting, and hopefully we dive a little more deeper into that later on. But it just shows it definitely shapes the character himself, and it shows how he was very lonely by himself, and he resorted to his video games all the time because he was struggling with depression and being by himself. But also he still had that light and that energy of just being a kid. And then next thing you know, Cobra Kai was the place where he could escape from his reality, escape from home life, escape from problems with his dad and missing his brother and missing his mom. So I feel like that all ties into character development and who my character is.
Do you think that his mom, I guess she's probably still in a very demanding job, is still not at home much?
Yes, I personally believe that's still the case. Hopefully y'all will be able to see her. But yeah, I think that's just the case. She has a demanding job and she can't be home to see her kid much.
I wonder how she would react to his new attitude in the moments she's seen him, because he is angry all the time.
He's definitely angry, but I bet you any money he's one of those kids who is angry whenever he's around the enemies and all that. But once he's home, he's back to that friendly, nice kid that his
He
mom
has
was.
that on-off switch,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So talking about, Kenny turning into this angry, brooding boy, killer instinct, how do you prepare mentally and emotionally to embody him?
Yeah, to embody Kenny, I honestly just have to put myself into his shoes, think about everything that he's going through, and how emotional state he's in at the moment, and pretty much just put myself in there and breathe into it, and remember that I just need to feel the anger, go through any moment in my past that has not been the happiest time, and then just perform and execute.
Is it all very like just you by yourself? Do you listen to any kind of music or anything?
Honestly, it's me by myself. Usually, I listen to music every single now and then, just to get into that sad place and that angry place. But usually, it's me by myself, and sometimes I cut the lights off, and I'm just it's just me, and I just look at the ceiling and think about like where he is at the time of this scene, and then once I get to set, I try to stay in my zone. Of course, I say hello to people, but once I'm on set I'm in my zone, and I look really sad and get into it, execute.
Yeah, they know not to bother you in between all these tough scenes. They're like, we need to give Dallas his space.
Yep, that's right. Yep, I love it though.
Do you miss the music Dungeon Lord loving Kenny, or are you just really liking this evolution?
To be honest with you, I'm loving the evolution of Kenny. I think it's just such a complex character, and that's what's so interesting and fascinating about him. But I do miss the old Kenny. I mean, just being able to play Dungeon Lord and hang out with his little buddies. It was a lot of fun. Even though he went to a new school and everything, I just thought it was a fun Kenny to portray. But this new Kenny, he's definitely exciting and crazy.
Yeah, we can't always be cosplaying out late at night.
Right.
But
Yep.
season 5, what was your favorite scene to be a part of and why?
Ooh, you're taking me back. Okay. My favorite scene. Okay. My favorite scene to be a part of was definitely. Oh, and this is spoiler, right? This is spoiler. Okay. My favorite scene to be a part of was definitely the Sekai Taikai mini fight between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai. That was my first chance to fight Jacob Bertrand, who plays Hawk, of course, and just to have that experience under his belt and to be in his presence like that was unbelievable for me. And I was so excited to finally fight him, and that definitely had to be my favorite scene. I was so grateful the outcome of the scene too. I was very happy about that. So that was just exciting. That might have been my favorite scene of the whole show.
Yeah, and you're like, just not just because I won, just putting that out there,
Right.
but
Not
because I
just
got to
that.
fight Jacob. Yeah, I'm sure that like, you've been watching some of these actors. I know you came in last season, but fight since like season one. So it's nice to finally get that moment together. And I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about some other scenes or relationships. So episode 4, the pool scene, we had a lot of the students from the different dojos together in one place. Was it nice to kind of see everyone again, maybe catch up with some actors you hadn't seen on set yet this season?
Yes, having the opportunity to catch up with everybody was unbelievable, and also just being in that one setting with everybody was a crazy feeling for me, being a fan of Cobra Kai. And I did get the chance to catch up with everybody because we haven't seen each other since the All Valley, and also coronavirus. Their mask rulings were a little bit lighter than season 4 for sure. So we definitely got to be a little more closer and just have the opportunity to just talk to each other and have a good time and enjoy the 3 days that we were filming that water park scene.
So did you actually get to ride the water slide, jump in the pool?
It's funny that you asked that because we did have the chance to do it after everything was done the last day. I remember I think I was the second one to get on the big slide, the I forgot what it's called, the Blue Lagoon, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Uh, Crazy water slide too. It was a lot of fun. We were able to do the water slide and then go down the lazy river.
The real question is, in that scene, we know that he's accused of kind of sabotaging the tubes that they go down, and so he actually did puncture it. How did Kenny puncture it? Did he just use his nail and like slash it a little?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea how he did it. I'm just gonna say that he used his nail and dug into it, and then boom, it just movie magic. That's what happened. It was funny because I was watching it back, and I was like, I wonder how it happened at the perfect time where it deflated. I was like, that is perfect. Look at Kenny, so inspirational. But
Yeah, he's so sneaky, and you're figuring it out on the spot kind of thing.
exactly. But yeah, I think he just dug his nail into it.
I wanted to talk about Kenny and Kyler's relationship because that's an interesting one. They seem to hang out a lot. They're obviously both top students at Cobra Kai, but they're kind of competing for that King Cobra position. So, how would you define their relationship? And is it something you've spoken with Joe about, or maybe your writers?
Yeah, so the writers and I definitely had a conversation about and Joe and I had a conversation about the relationship between Kyler and Kenny. It's interesting because Kyler and Kenny did not get along season 4 at all. Like we didn't have one moment where we got along until the end of the show when we won the whole thing. So coming to season 5, we had a stronger relationship as brothers in Cobra Kai, but then uh while we're starting to compete for the Cobra Kai role, there's starting to be you're starting to see the brotherly love, and we're starting to have moments where we fight and who's top dog. But it's interesting because like in the show, there are moments where I'm still following him, and I still look up to him. And then, but no, that just makes the dynamic between us more interesting and fascinating.
Do you think that it's very much like a friendship out of convenience rather than something like he'd share a lot of his personal life with Kyler?
I think it might be a friendship out of convenience, honestly, because we see each other every day at the dojo. Besides, and he's also older than me, so besides that, I don't think Kyler and Kenny would really be sharing each other's personal secrets and stuff.
Yeah, they're just more like trading mates, but has it been nice to like get to spend so much time with Joe over the past 2 seasons?
It has been incredible spending time with Joe. He's such an inspirational person and influential. He's really helped me with my acting career and some of my karate moves too. And he's also just been a friend there too. So we had a chance to just talk about life and personal stuff going on and acting and everything about that. So just having Joe there was really, really good, helpful for me.
It's nice. And another relationship is that of Kenny and Robby, who once again tries to warn Kenny about Cobra Kai. He doesn't want to hear it. And Robby's been a mentor early on for Kenny. He actually helped him earn a spot in the dojo. So why is Kenny so quick to ignore Robby's concerns?
I believe Kenny's so quick to ignore Robbie's concerns just because he loves Cobra Kai so much, and it hurts him a lot to know that Robby is not going to continue learning in that dojo, because that was his mentor, and they had that mentor slash mentee relationship, and that was honestly his best friend, you know. So I think he's so quick to ignore him because he doesn't want to leave the dojo, and he also doesn't want to believe that Cobra Kai is as bad as Robby is making it out to be.
At the end of the season, you know, are you satisfied with how it ended with what we believe could be the downfall of Cobra Kai?
I love the way it ended too. I mean, the downfall of Cobra Kai, the way they executed it, and it was very well written. And then the directing was great, acting was awesome from everybody. Props to everybody, all the actors and crew members. I just thought that the downfall of Cobra Kai, it was really cool to see that in episode 10, because it was something different that people aren't really used to seeing, because Cobra Kai, they're a winning championship team, honestly. So I love the way it ended. It was tough seeing Kenny sad at the end, but you know, that's a part of life, and got to see what Cobra Kai is really about.
Talking about Kenny being sad, take me through his emotions and what he's feeling when, first of all, he sees the footage of Tori and Silver, and then secondly, watching Silver lose to Daniel LaRusso on the mat.
I believe he was absolutely devastated watching you know, the whole thing unfold, honestly, because that became his mentor after Robby left Cobra Kai. Silver was the guy that he could lean on and the person that he trusted. So whenever he was watching that footage, I just believe it was pure devastation and anger, honestly, at the same time. And he was just in an unstable emotional state at the point of the end of the show. And then also seeing him get kicked by LaRusso, I mean, that was it. Like that, I remember when I threw the shirt, like, bro, how did that happen? Oh my gosh. So you're definitely not my mentor type attitude. So yeah, no, it was definitely tough to see watching it back, but that's what Kenny was feeling, in my opinion.
I love how you say it. You know, I was gonna say he was the first person to take off his gear and throw it on Silver, and
Yeah.
it was something that gave him purpose and something he really believed in. And so, yeah, like you mentioned, he was devastated, and you can see it on your face. Now, what was your favorite scene as a viewer, and why? Like that Kenny was not in.
Ooh, okay, I got it. Yep, I already got it. My favorite scene, like this might be my favorite scene of the past 2-3 seasons, honestly. It was the scene with Robby and Miguel whenever they had their fight scene on the ledge and in the apartment complex. Just to see the heart and the emotion that was put into that. And also whenever they got on the ledge, going back to season 2, whenever Miguel fell off the cliff and he had the opportunity to throw him off the ledge, but he decided not to, because that's not who he is as a person. I just thought that seeing them in that emotional state and their acting was tremendous. And the whole fight sequence was unbelievable. I was on the edge of my seat the whole entire time.
And are there any scenes that really shocked or surprised you? Like you were like, I can't believe this is about to happen.
I think the scene at the end of the show, definitely Kreese walking out, was a shocker to me. I did not expect to see that. And the funny thing about it is, like, whenever you read the script, it's a completely different feeling whenever you see it on camera. So whenever I saw it on camera, I was still utterly surprised, and I was so shocked about what happened. But that might have been the most shocking scene for me.
Yeah, because words are one thing, but I think it's a testament to the actors in this show and how well they're able to carry those to the screen.
Yeah.
Now, we see that Kenny's rivalry with Anthony LaRusso still going strong. The pool incident, the toilet incident, which I'm glad that we didn't see the aftermath of that. I'm not sure if Griffin would have been a very happy camper.
Yeah, no, that was tough. That was rough to watch.
What is your relationship like with Griffin off screen?
Griffin, oh my goodness. So Griffin and I are honestly homies off screen. He's one of my closest friends. We talk to each other whenever you know, stuff we need to check in with each other. We used to play video games with each other whenever we're in the same city, and we'll usually hang out or call on the phone. But he's a really good friend of mine, and it's funny because you see the contrast of the relationships on camera and then off camera, but we're really good friends off camera.
And it's nice that you're kind of establishing your characters together on the show. I know you were at Kennedy's prom, Variety's Young Hollywood event together, so it must also be nice to kind of get dressed up and go to these events at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been exciting. It's really cool to have him there and have him experience it too, because like this is our journey, and it's really exciting just because like with Cobra Kai happening, we're both growing as actors and teenagers, so we understand each other, and we understand what it takes to be a good actor. And the good thing about it too is like he's been on the show for a minute now, so he also gets to tell me everything that I need to know about the show and how to deal with fans and all of this stuff. So he's just been a really good friend, honestly.
Do you also kind of poke fun? He mentioned in our interview earlier this year that when he started on the show, how young he looked. He's definitely kind of grown up from that point. People sending photos of what he looked like in season one.
Yes, Griffin and I always poke fun about that. We have a few things that we poke fun about. So that's one of the things we always mess about how he looked then and then to how he looks now. And then we also mess around about the fact that whenever we were doing the season 4, I forgot which episode it was. I think it might have been 2, the basketball scene. They did this shot. It was a 2 shot of us, and he was looking down at me. I mean, like looking down because I was just really short. He might have been like 5-6 inches taller than me, but now we're basically like the same height. So I always mess with him about that because he used to be like, "Oh, look at you! You can't say nothing about height." And then now look at us in season 5, and I'm like, "Ha! Take that!" But
Yeah,
still not taller than him. He still got me
you're
down.
like, we should re-record that scene just so you can like actually kind of stand level to him now.
Yes, it's such a funny picture. I remember I did a happy birthday Griffin at Griffin Santopietro on Instagram, and that was the picture that I had to use because he is just looking down at me. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, it's so perfect. I'm sure you'll have these jokes for years to come.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's early, but looking ahead to a season 6, I know it has not been written or anything like that yet. But what might you be interested in exploring from Kenny with Kenny and his story?
The one thing that I'm definitely interested in exploring with Kenny's story is definitely his home life. I want to go a little bit deeper into just where his brother is, where his dad is, where his mom is, and just get that home life situation settled. And I just want to see a little bit more about Kenny home life because, of course, in season 5, I was at the dojo most of the time. So just get a little deeper into who Kenny is as a character.
Obviously, the big thing is Sekai Taikai. That's kind of up in the air. Do you think that Kenny will start maybe like second guessing his skills given what happened with Silver?
I think there is a huge possibility that Kenny will start second guessing his skills just because I think at this point he doesn't know where his head is really at, and he doesn't know like who to trust. He really doesn't know who to trust at this point because Robby betrayed him, Terry betrayed him. So everybody has betrayed him, and now he has nobody is feeling lonely. So he might definitely second guess his decision about the Sekai Taikai and his karate skills.
And the rivalry with Anthony, is that something that you might like to see resolve itself much like Miguel and Robby, or is it something that you are interested in seeing it play out a bit longer?
I want to see it play out a little bit longer. I mean, it would be cool if they resolved their situation, but if I see it go on a little bit longer, that would just be exciting for me.
You're like, I want to play the long game kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's always fun between us. We have a great time on set.
And you work closely in the dojo scenes with Thomas Ian Griffith and Alicia Hannah Kim. So what was it like working so closely with them on those scenes? Because they were really intense.
Yes, working with alongside both of them is unbelievable. Honestly, just having them alongside us and teaching us about karate because although they are senseis on the show, they are really like senseis in real life. And I promise they're not as intense as they seem on the show. They are really genuine and nice people, and they joke and they have a great time. But once that camera is on, they're focused and it lights up. But yeah, it's just having them there is really beneficial for us and helpful for us because they can teach us on different moves and different techniques.
So outside of set, like just filming season 5 for over 4 months, what are some of your favorite memories from that?
Some of my favorite memories from Cobra Kai season 5 was definitely filming. I remember I'll give you 2. So the first one is definitely episode 10, having everybody together in that dojo and having a good time and working on choreography, even though it was stressful at times because we had to get the choreography down really quickly. We still had a good time. We were poking fun and then just I hope there are some moments that you can see. There was one time whenever we're circling Miyagi-Do, I remember Jacob kept poking me, trying to make me laugh. And there was a moment where I just started busting out laughing, and we had to stop the scene. But hopefully they show that later. And then another thing was I remember this was the first time I really got to hang out with the cast members. We were like invited just to a mini hangout at one of the actors' hangout houses, and we just had a good time. We were playing Mario Kart and Jackbox games, and that was the first time that I felt like I have established myself in the Cobra Kai family, and I just felt so welcomed by them. So those were definitely the two moments that I loved.
I'm guessing it was one of the adult actors, if you're talking about houses.
Actually, oh well, yeah, one of the adult houses, but really it was one of the younger adult houses though, not like Williams actor and all of that.
Okay, I'm gonna like try to guess who that is.
Who's your guess?
I'm trying to think really hard. Okay, one of the younger. Was it like Jolo or okay, Jacob? I don't know.
It was Peyton's.
Okay, Peyton. And Peyton's doing amazing things with her. She has a beauty line as well now. So it must be so nice to kind of root for each other because you have all these other projects going on as well.
Yes, definitely. That's the great thing about this Cobra Kai family. We are really a family on and off set, and we support each other with everything that we do.
Which was your favorite rap gift from season 5?
I think my favorite rap gift from season 5. Oh, okay. It was pants from Robby, Tanner Buchanan, and Mary Mouser. They had some really cool season 5 pants, and I wore them for as long as I could, and then I outgrew them, unfortunately. But I still have them, and they just were really cool pants.
You should tell them you need a new pair for future seasons, definitely.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I appreciate you. I'm going to do that now.
Now we'll move on, talk about another exciting project you have upcoming, which is 1-800 Hot Night. You'll be starring as Tommy. What can you share about this film and your character?
Yeah, so my film 1-800 Hot Night is a story about a young kid who is going through a lot of dramatic troubles with his parents, and his parents actually, he loses them to a drug raid. And he decides to pretty much escape his whole reality with his friends and try to run away. And you see a lot of events happen that shapes my character Tommy from being a little boy to a grown man, honestly. And it's unfortunate because he had to grow up really quickly, but that's what makes this project so special. And a lot of things happen. It's just an exciting project. And then we've been going to a lot of film festivals right now. We just have a film festival. We just got accepted into a film festival in France, the Deauville Film Festival, and also Santa Barbara Film Festival, as well as others.
That's so exciting. Yeah, I saw that you'll be in France in just over a week's time. And then I'm guessing after that, the premiere of Cobra Kai. So you'll be very busy. But to talk about the film, it's an emotional journey about self-discovery, of trauma and courage. When you saw the final cut for the first time, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction to seeing the final cut was I really almost cried. I remember just it took me back to those emotional days and being in that mindset of what Tommy had to go through, honestly, and just being there and seeing that. And also I was with the cast members from the movie, so just being there with them, it took us back to whenever we had to film on only weekends and we only shot for 3 hours because of time concerns with us being with it being at night. And just seeing the final cut, I just felt it was a masterpiece. Much props to Nick Ritchie and Ali Ritchie, the directors and producers of the show. They did such an excellent job with the show, and then the other actors and everything.
What are you most looking forward for viewers to see and take away from this movie?
I really want viewers to take away the art of not growing up too fast. You see Tommy growing up really quickly. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of kids have to go through. But that's why you need to really cherish every single moment you have as a kid and a teenager, because once you become an adult, you can't get those days back. So pretty much just take that away, and then also take away the love of friendship and having and kinship and being with people. That's also really important.
Speaking of kinship, 57th Posse, you've got yourself, Garrison, and Mylan. What was your experience like working with these guys?
Working with Garrison and Mylan was such an exciting time for us. We really became best friends during the time of the show, and then we still communicate offset. But no, it was just an incredible time with them, and we had so many moments where we were on Zoom talking about the scenes and discussing different moments and different feelings that we can portray. And then just to be there with them and watching the show was an incredible moment for me personally. I bet it was for them too, but they're incredible actors. The world needs to watch out for them for sure.
Was it interesting being the one on set with like the most film and TV experience?
It was definitely interesting because, of course, with Cobra Kai, I'm one of the least with film experience, and that just tells you how much everybody else has done on that show. Like it's incredible. But no, it was definitely a different feeling, but it was exciting, and sometimes they asked me about different acting tips and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely not used to this. I'm usually the one asking. But no, it was definitely exciting for me, and it was really cool.
I was like, you're the grizzly veteran on set now.
Yeah, I know, that's wild. It's crazy to think about.
And mentioned France. Is that your first time there? Have you been before?
This will be my first time going to France.
Are you already writing down places you want to go to, things you want to see?
I haven't even really thought about that. I've been so caught up with school and other things at the moment that I haven't even really thought about it. But my mom has listed a few things that we definitely need to go see. So I need to go check out that list for sure.
You mentioned school. How has that been going for you?
School has been great. This is my second week. It's definitely exciting. This is my first time going to a regular school in a lot of years. So I've been enjoying that time with all of my peers, and I've been making a lot of new friends and new interactions. So it's definitely a lot more time consuming, but fine with me. It's exciting.
Yeah, keeping a busy life is sometimes just what you need, what keeps you happy. And before I ask our last couple of questions, I just have to note as we wrap up the acting side that it's just such a pleasure. I know you have a goal to be Oscar nominated by age 25, and you have another 9-10 years, but I think you're well on your way with these roles. They have so much depth and importance, and I'm just really excited for what's to come. And we have 2 more questions. First of all, who are you listening to on your playlist? Favorite musicians right now?
Okay, so favorite musicians at the moment on my playlist: The Weeknd, Lil Baby, Drake, Tupac, Eminem, Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma. I have so many people. I can't even just listen to them all, but those are the people.
I sense like a bit of an R&B kind of rap theme going on.
That's what I listen to. Mostly I listen to more 80s, 90s rap, but I try to educate myself on today's music, because whenever I go to parties and I don't know the music, it's definitely awkward for me, and everybody else is jamming. I'm just like, but it's okay. So I try to educate myself a little bit on our music.
You don't want to be the one asking, who's this artist again?
Exactly.
Having them look at
I had to do that. And one of the guys was like, you don't know who this is? I was like, no, I really don't.
Never again. Never again.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
And our signature question for you: if you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Ooh, if I could be any ice cream flavor, what would I be? I'm gonna go with cotton candy, just because as a kid I loved cotton candy growing up, and I still love cotton candy to this day. So if I could be an ice cream flavor, being cotton candy would be really cool.
I think that's a fun answer, and there's obviously nothing wrong with a childhood favorite. So yeah, I like it. Sure.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dallas, for taking the time to chat. It's been so much fun.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great talking to you.
Of course, make sure to catch Dallas in Cobra Kai season 5 is out now on Netflix, and 1-800 Hot Night coming November 4th. Release details soon. We'll see you next time.